when I went to purchase my palette, 35B was $25 and James Charles was $50, so sorry, James. So today I have a James Charles inspired look. I've been watching Instant Influencer every Friday since it came out 3 weeks ago, and I have been loving it. But this last episode, James has this negative space eyeliner eyeshadow look going on. I'll put a picture of it right here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. If you haven't checked out Instant Influencer and you love makeup or reality TV shows, highly recommend checking it out. I'll put a link in the description down below for the first episode ever. There are only 3 episodes up right now, and the 4th and final episode is next week. Very excited to find out who wins. One quick thing before I start getting into the look for today is I wanted to announce that I will now be posting videos twice a week, every Wednesday and Saturday. So make sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell so that you get updates for when I post my new videos. So I'm just going to wing it and see if what I try to come up with looks even half as good as what he created. The first step will be to prime my eyes, and I will be using the e.l.f. eye primer in the color Sheer. I'm pretty sure it only comes in one color, and I'll run it along my eye and a little out of the corner just because his wing goes past his eyebrow. I'm probably going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to carve out the wing for myself. Just so that I have something to kind of follow. And I'll be using the Morphe 35B palette. I'll be using this blue color right here. You'll have to forgive me, I lost the color names. Hopefully I find them again. I also lost one of my sponges, and if that could find its way back to me, that would be great. First step, I'm going to carve out my wing for myself. So James' wing goes just a little past his eyebrow. Now I'm just packing it on and guiding it up to the point where I want it to be. And I'm not too worried about having a perfect line because I'm gonna go in later with some concealer and cut it out a bit. I'd be really curious to see a video on how he actually did it, because it just looks so cool, hence why I was inspired to try it today. What I'm really loving about having my YouTube channel right now is that it gives me such an opportunity to explore with techniques that I wouldn't normally. Now, as you can see, I've kind of created the space that I want to create that wing now, and I'm gonna go in with a bit of a darker blue on the inner part closer to my eye, just to give a kind of gradient effect. And it also helps darken up the blue color a bit. And I'm just kind of packing it in and then blending it out a bit so that it's not very obvious that we have 2 different blues here. It just looks like the blues fading out nicely. I imagine that James Charles uses his James Charles Morphe palette to be able to create this look, and I just have the 35B because when I went to purchase my palette, 35B was $25 and James Charles was $50, so sorry, James. Okay, now that I've got that dark blue kind of built up, I'm gonna go back in with that first blue that I used. I don't think I showed you guys, I'm sorry for that. So the dark blue that I used was this one right here. And now I'm going back to this blue. And same thing, just sort of more towards the middle of the wing that I'm creating. I'm just packing that blue on to build up pigment. Now, as I get closer to the inner part of my eye, I want the color to taper off a little bit. So I'm not as concerned with building up pigment over here, but I do still want the blue to show. And I'm blending out the end. Once I have the pigment built up to the amount that I like, I'm going to go in with my concealer, the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear in color Vanilla, and I'm going to carve out that line on the inside. Now the technique for this is going to be very similar to a cut crease. The only difference is the way I'm creating my wing. And I'm starting it up just a little bit higher than I normally would, because that's the way that he has it in the picture. I'll show you again. How am I doing so far? Let me know in the comments. I have that line carved out now with my concealer, and I'm going to go in with makeup remover just to remove the concealer line that I've created to make it look like I've just got this nice eyeshadow sharp line. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera because I have a feeling it's going to take me a while. So I've carved out the line as best as I could. There's obviously still a little edges down here that you can see concealer, but that's okay because I'm about to go in and sharpen that line up. So I'm just going to use a bit more tightly packed thin brush to go in with that first blue color, the main blue color that I'm wanting to stand out. And I'm just going to go over the edges on top of the concealer that I've put down. So I just want to reprime that eye just so that when I lay down the color, it's going to stick nicely and it won't be patchy. Okay, so for the inside of the eye, he has a very natural look going on. It honestly just looks like his skin tone. So I'm just going to try and find a color that matches my skin tone pretty well. But I think I'm going to go with one that has a bit of an orangey tint. So for that, I'll be using my Too Faced Natural Matte palette, and I'll be using the color Lace Teddy. And to apply Lace Teddy, I'm just going to use an angled blending brush. So I'm going to go ahead and catch up my other eye, do my eyebrows, foundation, and contour before I come back, and then I'm going to show you concealer and completing the lower lash line to get the finished effect. And I'm back. What was 1 second for you guys felt like a lifetime for me. So I've gone ahead, completed the other side. I've done my foundation and my contouring. I tried something new today. I tried contouring my nose a bit because James Charles has such a snatched nose. I felt like I wasn't doing the look justice unless I gave it a shot. So let me know what you think in the comments down below of how my nose looks. So now I'm going to go in with my concealer. Just as I'm working, I'm going to be very careful around this line here, but I'm also going to get as close as possible because I want to use my concealer as a bit of a primer for a shadow that I'm going to be going in with shortly after this. And then, of course, once I have that complete, going in with my Ciate coconut setting powder and just letting that bake. Now in the show, it looks like James has a bit of a shiny white eyeshadow along the edge to just diffuse that blue. I don't quite have a shiny white, but I do have a silver from my Sephora Truly Outrageous eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to be using this silver white color here to try and recreate that look. And I'm going to take a bigger version of the brush that I was using to apply the blue. And I'm just going to take the tiniest amount. I don't want too much. And I'm going to dust it off. And then I'm going to go right at the edge of the blue and just blend the silver in to the blue wing. And I'm going to do that around both sides, the whole way around the outside. I'm going to go in along my lower lash line to complete the eyeshadow look. I'm going to start with the darkest blue that I used from the Morphe 35B palette, and I'm going to take it 3/4 of the way along my lower lash line. And I'm just trying to build up pigment here. I'm not trying to blend it out. Once I have the pigment built up enough, with a slightly looser brush, I'm going to go in with that lighter blue, the middle blue, the blue that I'm trying to get to stand out the most. And I'm going to go ahead and use that to blend out that darker blue and bring it a bit further down my lash line. And once I'm pleased with the blue, I'm going to go in one last time with that silver white color just below the blue. While I'm doing that, I'm also going to drag it up, so then it almost looks like it just blends into one line. Like I just started on my lash line and I just kept going. Now James has a diamond-like crystal in the center of his eye for this look, but I don't have any face gems. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid liner in the corners of my eyes to add some sort of shimmery pop. And the liquid eyeshadow I will be using for that today is Glitter Gold by NYX. This is the color Polished Pinup. And I'm just going to put a little bit in the corner of my eyes. And then I'm going to use my finger to pat that out and blend it in with the rest of my look. Now, James is very obviously wearing false eyelashes for his look, but I don't currently have any false eyelashes. So instead, I'm just going to do my best to create a false eyelash look with my own natural eyelashes. Done with my eyes, so I'm going to move on to my bronzer. For my bronzer today, I'll be using Wander Beauty Trip for Two, and I'll be using the bronzer in this, it's called Tullum. Tell them that I love it. And I'm just going over the parts I've already contoured, just to add a little bit more definition and warmth to my face. Then for a blush, I think I want like a kind of orangey brown. Now I don't have an orangey brown blush, so instead I'm going to be dipping into my 25D Morphe palette, Oh Boy, and I'll be using this color right here, which is called Derek. And finally, just going in with some highlighter. Today I'll be using my Tarteist Pro Glow palette, and I think I'm going to go for Strobe. Now the lip that I'm going to pair with this is going to be a combination of two lipsticks. I'm using Maybelline Touch of Spice, and I'm using Morphe Matte. This one's called Wifey. And I'm going to use the Maybelline to line my lips, and then I'm going to fill it in with Morphe. Finally, once my lips are complete, I'm just going to go over it with a gloss to seal it in and give it a nice shiny effect. And today I will be using Essence XXL Liquid Lip Gloss. And there we have it, the final product. But I think I did a pretty good job in recreating it. I definitely could have made my eyeshadow liner just a little bit closer, a little bit tighter. His does look a bit thinner than mine, but I don't know. All that being said, I think I did a decent job. What do you guys think? Did I nail it? Did I fail it? Please let me know in the comments down below what you think I should have done differently if I didn't quite nail it. Also, I'm really curious what you guys think of the final finish of my nose. Is it snatched enough? Do I need to snatch it more? Should I even bother with it? Should I just leave it the way it is? Don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and also hit that little notification bell so you can see my videos as soon as they come out, which they are now coming out twice a week, once on Wednesday and once on Saturday. Thanks for watching, and Take It Easy palette, and I'll be using the color Lace Teddy. Oh, there we go. So you've made it this far, you may as well just like it.